Oh my goodness. Oh.
I can't. I don't even want to talk. It's making my tongue hurt.
Yeah, that one's hot. What's up, everybody? I'm Pastor Grant. This is The Holy Ones. This is High Point Church's version of the popular show called The Hot Ones. Here with me today, we have Pastor Derek, aka my dad. So we're just going to ask you a couple of questions. And as we're asking you these questions, we're going to be dipping these hot sauces onto our wings. And the point is that you're gonna have to keep trying to answer these questions and ignore the spice, the hotness of these wings. As you can see, we have some beverages here to keep us cool. But let's get started. All right, here we go. This is wing sauce number 1. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Bottoms up. All right, you gotta eat the whole thing.
Gotta eat the whole thing?
Gotta eat the whole thing.
Let me get some sauce on it. I'm kind of weak on these sauces, so this one's pretty spicy, so those others were kind of scaring me. If that's the start.
It's the start. Okay, so you told us a lot that you, in your past, were a youth pastor. You started as a youth pastor. So in your years of being a youth pastor, how do you feel like that's prepared you to be a senior pastor today?
Big. I would probably say because dealing with teenagers, they say what they think, and so you had to be real thick-skinned, and you had to be able to be able to listen, but also too to be around youth all the time. I was a youth pastor for so long. You had to learn how to have fun, and I think that's what makes you a great senior pastor, is to not lose your touch with being able to have fun, be serious, but have serious fun at the same time, and to be able to make Christianity something that people enjoy and not a duty. And so I think all the years of being around teenagers helped me to learn how to have fun and serve Jesus at the same time.
Have you had any instances, like recently in the past, maybe year or two, where you really feel like that what you've learned as a youth pastor applied to being a senior pastor today? Like any instances where you thought, I learned this as a youth pastor?
I would have to say yes, to never give up, because as a youth pastor, you got to keep people engaged. I think you got to learn to always stay focused. And I think as a senior pastor, a lot of times we lose sight of what it was like to be a new Christian. And that's one of the things I get to speak every month, one Wednesday night a month, to the young people. And when I get back in here and I see the fire that's in their eyes and the excitement and that kind of stuff, it kind of reminds you of why you started doing this. Because a lot of times on Sundays, the lights are down, you can't see everybody's faces, but on Wednesday nights, I think it keeps you connected with that youthful side. Yeah. Because I think a lot of times as we get older, we just kind of get into a comfort zone and we kind of get into a rut. I never want to quit. I may be getting old, but I don't ever want to act old. And I think that it helped me to keep that youth.
Gotta stay relevant.
Yeah.
Gotta stay relevant.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, we're at wing number 2, sauce number 2. You ready for it?
I don't know. My nose is already running. Y'all making me a little nervous.
We got some napkins on standby. Hopefully this will help. All right, let's do it. Here we go. I taste like salsa.
I don't think that one's as hot as the first one. That one was pretty good.
Can't let it get down the wrong pipe. Okay. So question number 2. You're Alabama homegrown. So you were born and raised in Montgomery. You lived in the Montgomery for a long time. What was the biggest culture shock going from Montgomery coming down here to Enterprise?
I don't know if it was a culture shock, but I remember the first time I got out of the car at the gas station and I smelled the chicken houses. And I thought, my gosh, a sewer pipe is busted somewhere. And I was like, what in the world is that smell? And Kelly's uncle was there and he said, smells like money to me.
Oh my goodness.
Because he does chicken houses and stuff. But that was a big culture shock, and people just walked around like that was normal. And I was like, do y'all not smell this? This is awful. And so that was probably my first big culture shock, and the next one was when I got hungry after 9 o'clock and realized there was only Waffle House and McDonald's that you could eat. So that was a pretty big culture shock too.
Oh yeah.
Getting a lot more options now, thank goodness. But back when we first moved here, it was you better eat before 9.
Man, I can remember us going home one night. We lived in Hunter Ridge out in New Brockton, so we lived like right next to the chicken houses. I'm honestly positive we could probably add this into the footage. We could probably add it in there.
Because you probably got video.
Oh, we've got video of you just gagging. I can remember as a kid just coming home, and as soon as you hit the neighborhood, from the neighborhood getting to the house, it was just Dad's gagging.
Yeah.
He's dry heaving.
Oh my God. Well, and y'all thought it was funny, and I'd be driving and it would just hit you like an assault on your nose, and it was like a kung fu kick to the face. And we would turn the corner. It was always right there at the beginning of the neighborhood, and it was like horrible. And I'm like, I feel so sorry for all these people that live at the front of our neighborhood, because you couldn't smell it back at our house, but you could smell it coming into the neighborhood. And I literally would start dry heaving and couldn't stand it. And y'all thought it was so funny, and then all the cameras come out and y'all start recording in it.
Well, now we're doing that again, except with hot sauce.
Yeah.
And it's not chicken houses.
Well, I hope I can make
We'll
it
see
all
if you
the way
start
to
dry
the top.
heaving again. All right, wing sauce number 3. You ready?
I don't know, y'all. I'm serious, y'all. My mouth is already tingling pretty hard.
You just got to get it down quick. Here we go.
That one says extra hot, so. Maybe it's like an after effect.
Yeah, because that was nothing. That was weak. Anyways, on to the question.
Yeah, that
Well-
wasn't very hot.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It kicks in here in a minute. So, what's your favorite thing about working here at the church?
5 o'clock. No, I'm teasing. I think I was part of church for so long. Love church, love God, love being a part of the church, love being in ministry. But one of the things that I love about being pastor here and working here at the church is seeing the life transformation, the life change. I mean, I'm not talking like just people come to church. I'm talking like people that'll send you messages and stuff, say, hey,
Yeah.
I've been in church my whole life, but I've never encountered God
Yeah.
like I've encountered him here. I've never encountered God to the point where my family's changed and I've changed. And I think,
Yeah.
to me, those stories never get old. There's good days, there's bad days, there's tough days, and then there's the amazing days. And my favorite part of being a pastor is you walk through some of the toughest, darkest times with people. But man, when you see that light bulb click on in their head and you see them connect with God,
Yeah.
and you look out there and you can see people and they got tears coming down their face, that's my favorite part about what I get to do.
That's good. Have you had anything recently that you feel like was just kind of like maybe with it could have been like at a conference or just an interaction with one of the congregants, one of the members? Do you feel like that there was something recently that really just kind of stirred that passion back up in you, just kind of gave you that fire again? Not like that you lost it, but just like man, this is why I do what I do.
And I think like with anything, whether you're a pastor or a Christian, sometimes you can get to doing what you do for so long that it can get a little routine or you forget your fire.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, I've been to Disney World 100 times. And so when you go there, it's not that exciting, but when you go with somebody that's never been before, it's like you're getting to experience it all over again.
Yeah.
And just a couple of weeks ago, I met someone that came up after church. They stood there and they had tears in their eyes. And I thought, oh Lord, they're upset. And they came up and they said, this service today impacted me so much. This is exactly what I needed. And thank you. And just went on. And to me, that was kind of like going to Disney World the first time. It's kind of like now it's like, I'm ready to or sign up again. I'm ready to do this and do this for the rest of my life. Because it is easy to just kind of get routine. But when you see God touch somebody's life, man, that's worth it all.
All right, sauce number 4.
This was, go ahead.
This is like a what do you want? That's thick.
I don't know.
Got
This
some
was making me
viscosity.
kind of scared because that stuff is hanging on there. It's gonna stick with you, I guess.
All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
It's called Yellowbird. Uh-oh.
That's good. Oh, it's hot. All right. Here we go. We're going to move on.
Okay, it's starting to heat up.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So what's probably the funniest experience you've ever had as a pastor? It could be youth pastor, senior pastor. What's the funniest thing you've experienced? Gonna be all right.
That's the one. Oh my gosh! The more you talk, the hotter it gets. Probably the one as a youth pastor. I was a young youth pastor, real excited. Our youth group was growing, and one Wednesday night, a guy walks in. I'd never seen him before in my life, and he's carrying a guitar. And he walks in and says, "The Lord sent me here." And I was like, "Really?" Okay. He said, "Sent me here to sing for y'all tonight." Ooh. And
Gonna make it. We still got one more solve.
so I'm sitting here thinking, I'm young, I'm excited, I don't want to miss the Lord. He said, "I really feel like the Lord sent me here. I mean, this is a divine appointment." And I'm like, I don't want to miss God. So in my naivety, as a young man and a young pastor, I let him sing in front of my youth group of about 150 kids.
Oh my goodness.
And he gets up there and he's singing, and he doesn't know but one note on the guitar, and he keeps strumming it.
Like not even a chord, like one note.
Not just a chord or whatever you call it. He just strumming his guitar and he starts singing, and he's singing and it's really bad. And I'm sitting here and I'm starting to sweat, and my credibility is shrinking very fast. And all of a sudden, right in the middle of him singing, he's singing, and his tooth flies out from the front of his mouth.
Oh my God.
I'm sitting on the front row, and his tooth rolls over and lands next to my foot, and I looked up at him, and he's going like this, and he keeps strumming his guitar.
How old was he?
He's in probably 20s, 30s.
Oh my
But he
goodness.
keeps strumming his guitar. And then he starts singing, "Great God, Jehovah, I am not in bed with, I'm not a thing." And he's talking through this missing tooth.
No.
And the whole time I'm sitting there looking at the tooth down by my foot, and he's still strumming and he's still singing, and I thought, they're going to fire me.
Oh my God.
They are going to fire me
This is like on a Wednesday night.
on a Wednesday night. So anyway, I get up and I shut him down, and he starts walking out and he's banging through the chairs, and then he comes back. But after church, I immediately ran to my pastor and I said, "I have to tell you what happened." But it was embarrassing because this guy, his tooth flew right out there in front of us. But probably since we started the church, the craziest thing is I was standing up there preaching, and right in the middle of my speaking, I hear, "Eh." And I'm like, "What in the world?" And I thought it was somebody being funny, making noises or something.
Oh, no.
And then I hear it again. "Eh." And I look, and this person had a baby goat down in
Oh, my goodness.
their jacket. And
I
I'm like,
remember this.
"Oh my gosh, there is a goat here at church." And I was like, this, I don't know what to do. And so it just kept going, "Eh." And so the thing is that after service, the thing had just been born right before church, so it was kind of still yucky and gross.
Oh no.
And sadly, the thing died not long after that because it was so newborn and was taken away from its mom and everything. But I mean, talk about losing control of a service. I mean, when you got a goat noise, people are
Did
like,
anybody what was the congregation doing? Like what were the
well, they were freaking out, and I'm thinking the new people were probably thinking, "Is this a cult? Are we fixing to
We're about to
are we
sacrifice
fixing to
this thing.
sacrifice a
Y'all
goat
get
or
ready."
something?" And so I'm sitting here sweating and thinking, "What do I do? What do I say, ma'am? Could you please remove the goat from the sanctuary?" And so that was crazy.
All right. This is it. This is the fifth wing sauce. You ready?
I'm ready.
I don't know that I am. This is making me sweat.
Well, this one I can't even. This is crunchy. All right, let me see what I ate. Up. Here we go. That tastes like gasoline.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Oh wow. Oh yeah. This is getting hotter and hotter as you talk. Let me get a little swig of this milk real quick. Hold up. All right. Last question for you. What is your oh my gosh, that's hot. What is your favorite part about being a dad?
Well, right now my tongue is on fire. Hold on.
Don't breathe out too hard.
I'm just gonna have to stick my tongue in this water.
Oh no. That is getting hot.
What was the question again?
What's your favorite part? What's your favorite part about being a dad?
Ooh. The breath on my tongue is making my tongue on fire. Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Trying to slosh the milk around.
Well, I don't even like milk. But, favorite part about being a dad? I know this is a kind of a sappy, serious one. Holy smokes. What in the world?
Oh my goodness.
Oh. I can't. I don't even want to talk. It's making my tongue hurt.
Yeah, that one's hot. Man. Let it sit there a minute.
I need to baptize my tongue. Holy smokes.
Hold it.
I think, I think as a parent, I loved watching you boys grow up. Oh goodness. I love watching y'all grow up and loving God. And falling in love with the Lord and developing a relationship with God all on your own. Because it's one thing to want your kids to love Jesus, but then to see your kids actually love Jesus, and it's not because you're pushing them to. And that was a highlight for me as a dad. I know. I'm like, my mouth is on fire. And
more than milk. You haven't even touched yours. I need some more. I'm sorry. Go
But
ahead.
watching you guys fall in love with God and develop a relationship with the Lord all on your own. But see, now you transition and learning to be your parent, because right now I'm not an authority. I'm more as a advisory role, just here to love you, support you. But now watching you and Grayson as pastors, and not only do you have your own relationship with the Lord, but the thing I love most about being a dad is sitting back and watching you guys win. Watching you guys walking in your calling. When I see you up here singing on Sundays, sometimes I have to focus to worship because my heart's just about to burst open with pride just watching you sing. And you're gifted and you're talented, even though you never asked me to sing with you, but you always sing. And then watching your mom up here as well and getting to do this as a family, but then watching Grayson working with the teenagers and following and doing what I do and watching him on a Wednesday night up here and the passion that he has for youth and the passion you have for worship. That's my favorite thing. More than getting to be your dad is watching you guys develop your calling and walking in it. Because I say this all the time, y'all aren't where you are because I'm your dad. You're here and doing what you're doing because God has gifted you. And as a father, that's I think the greatest thing about being a dad to me.
All right. Well, that's it. I will say thank you for what you said. I'm very thankful for my relationship with you and my relationship with God. I'd say that Grayson and I are very fortunate to have a dad like you, to have a mom like Mom. I tell people all the time that, God definitely is in control of my life. He leads me every single day, but it's an amazing thing to be able to say that you have great parents that have led you well, and great parents that have
Thank you.
that will sit here and eat hot sauce with you and cough and cry, but
And try to act serious when my nose is running and my mouth is
sweating. Well, that's all. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be doing more of these, and we will have some more sauces, some more variations. It'll get a little bit crazier. But thank you for joining us once again on Holy Ones.